Welcome back to another edition of Voice of the Vet, Veteran Topic, or what we call Vet Topic of the Day. We have a special guest with us today, Michael Hess, an Army veteran, Vietnam veteran, Purple Heart recipient. And Michael came here. First of all, Michael, thank you for being here today. We appreciate your time and what you're going to be talking about here.
Thank you.
Michael came here to Vets for Action and talked with Tim and Elliot, and went from going through a lot of BS, which you're going to hear about here shortly, and to now 100% disabled. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And that was a very uphill battle, but without further ado, Michael, how you doing, bud?
Very good.
Good. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you were successful with Tim and Elliot.
Very successful.
Yeah. Now, I just met Michael today, and I heard some of the story, and I instantly knew that we needed to talk. And can you start out by telling, you served in the Army, you got a Purple Heart, you earned what you have now. Was it an easy transition to get all those benefits that you have now?
No, it was horrible. It was
How long did it take, approximately?
3 years, well, 50 years, but since I met, these gentlemen from Vets for Action, they set me on the right road, and all I had to do is follow their instructions and go to these clinics and to speak to psychiatrists and go to clinics, and it wasn't easy to go through all that, but they advised me that this is what I need to do, and it was not easy, but I did everything that they told me to do, and sure enough, the VA wanted more. They wanted to know about the last place I worked, and I'm thinking, what does this have to do with anything about my military problems? And so I think that they were playing ping pong with me. I send them, I do what they want, and they say they want more. I give them more, they want more. And I was speaking to Elliot about it, and he says, that the VA is hoping that you're going to die. I'm 70 years old. They're hoping that you're going to pass away before they're going to pay you anything, because that's why they're saying, we want this, we want that, we want this, we want that. I'm keep on doing this, keep on doing that. I was ready to give up in the middle of it, and I thought to myself, no, these guys have been trying to help me for 3 years, and I'm going to stick with it.
Good for you. Good for you.
So I stuck with it, and I beat them, and beat the government, and now they're finally settling with me with a monthly payment.
Good. Yeah, even though there's a lot of heartache and stress and stressors and just total aggravation, you stuck with it.
Very hard to do.
Yeah.
Very hard to do, especially to speak to a psychiatrist who is a woman that was young enough to be my daughter.
Yeah.
And what does she know? Anything about post-traumatic stress disorder in Vietnam? I'm sorry, but I don't feel that it's qualified. And they asking a lot of dumb questions that irritated me. And afterwards, I sat in my vehicle after the meeting with the psychiatrist. I couldn't drive for about a half an hour after that because I was so screwed up about it, and it's just hard to talk to somebody that hasn't been there. Now, I could talk to a Vietnam veteran, a psychiatrist, and that would be fine. I would be great, but not someone that doesn't know what I've gone through.
Sure. I mean, how many Vietnam veterans are psychiatrists?
Not
Exactly.
They should be, because they could help a lot of veterans.
They're experts because they were there. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Wow. So you've gone from, going through all these things, all these years from the time you got out, you're a Purple Heart recipient. That says a lot right there. And you've carried this, quote, baggage with you, not getting the help that you needed for all these years.
Right.
And finally, you meet Tim and Elliot,
after 50
Vets for
years.
Action.
After 50 years.
50 years. Come on, that's pathetic to wait that long for anything.
I met these guys, and they've changed my life.
Yeah.
They have changed my life. And they've made my life a lot more easy. I mean, I couldn't take on the VA by myself.
No. No.
And I didn't know I didn't know these guys explained everything step by step. This is what you need to do. This is what you have to do. This is what you should do. This, this, and that. So I did it step by step, just the way they told me. Tim and Elliot, the greatest people. And I followed their instructions, and we beat the VA and the government with, getting to finally get some satisfaction out of everything. Not that it changes anything the way I think about
Right.
post-traumatic stress disorders and what I went through, but that the government never had my back for 50 years until I met these guys, and they've changed my whole life.
It's a sad commentary on veterans, about veterans, is you've gone through everything for so damn long, and it's wrong. It's like I've said so many times before, that in itself is a travesty against humanity, against our veterans. I mean, come on, this has got to stop. You beat them. You worked with the Vets for Action with Tim and Elliot, and here's the important thing: you followed what they told you to do, and you did it.
I did everything they told me to do.
That's a message for the other vets out there.
Don't give up.
No, don't give up. And I'm happy. I'm thrilled for you, and it's an honor to sit here next to you.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
You guys are the greatest. And then my biggest thing is, you want to quit. You want to give up. You say, I quit. I don't want to go through this anymore. But you got to have perseverance. You got to stick with it. And what they tell you is not wrong. They're telling you exactly what you need to do. It's up to you to do it. They can't hold you by the hand and take you to the clinic or take you to here or take you there. You got to do it yourself. You want to just throw the whole thing in the garbage can and say, I've been doing this for 50 years. I can do it until I die. But they told me the way to do it. I did exactly what they said, and I got a positive outcome. And it's changed my life, and I'm in debt to them. They've just done everything for me, and I just stick with it. That's what you got to do. Keep going. Go to those clinics, even though you think, why am I going to all these clinics? Do it. You got to do it.
There you go. There's a quote by Henry Ford that I like. It says, if you always do what you always did, you'll always have what you always had. Yeah. And you changed that. You went right ahead and attacked it and changed it. Now you have what you have now because you did the right thing. And you got the right advice from them.
I got perfect advice from them.
Yeah.
I got the best.
Outstanding. Michael, thank you, sir, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks for your service and everything you've done and are going to do. Because you got a lot of time. He looks great for 70 years old, doesn't he? Absolutely. So thank you again.
Thanks a lot.
All right. That's it for today. Michael Hess, Army veteran, Vietnam veteran, Purple Heart recipient, and champion against the VA with the Vets for Action. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you again.